Hey guys, welcome back. For those who don't know me, I'm Melissa. As I said before, if you're happy to be here, I'm happy to have you here. Today I'm making a couple of recipes. I had pizza dough. We have pizza night and sometimes we just feel like making pizza once a week, once every couple of weeks. So I usually buy the dough ahead and it's cheap. It's not like it's a lot of money, but I guess people get crazy about pizza. So it's always sold out, and I'm like, instead of wasting the money for pizza, I can actually just make my own dough ahead and save the cost there. But I'm making pizza dough so I can freeze it and have it ready. Anyways, moving on. I'm also making banana muffins. I have bananas that are frozen and I took them out so that I can use that and make some banana muffins because I haven't made that in a while and I figured why not, right? I am also finally making a recipe. I shared with you that I love oatmeal raisin cookies. I bought raisins finally to make the oatmeal raisin cookies. I haven't made oatmeal raisin cookies. I'm going to make oatmeal raisin cookies. This is a new recipe for myself. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. I bought them. How many times can you say oatmeal raisin? I bought the cookies and I've ate them before, but I've never made them. So this is a first for me, and if I like it, then I'll keep it. I'll share the recipes with you. If I do like it, then I will save it as always. I save in my recipe book. I actually have to sit down and start writing my recipes. Maybe I'll share that with you because you can see like the 50 million recipes I save. People just print out and save the recipes into a big binder, but it gets me frustrated to have a huge binder, so I might just buy another book and write it out myself. Every time time passes, I want to just cut down the time to do things. I'm like, okay, you know what? That's too much time. Let me just scratch that out. But we'll see what happens. I'll be making barbecue sloppy joes with the Italian sausage that we have from venison that we saved. So yeah, if you enjoy that and those are things you like, stick around. If you like it, just, I guess, use it because it's good. But I'm going to enjoy them. We enjoy making new recipes. We enjoy eating new things. And when it's something new that we've tried and we like, it's nice because it takes you away from having the same exact thing over and over. And I'm rambling. I'm going to get moving. And the next couple of weeks, yeah, we're going to be doing some more new recipes. I'm finally getting some time off from holidays and celebrations. The next one is my anniversary. My husband and I make 15 years. That will come basically, yeah, a month from now. So I got time. So we're gonna do these recipes and get those out of the way because if you see, my board is getting a little full with recipes. So I'm gonna get those out of the way of things I've been trying to make and wanted to make. And then it's time to celebrate again and do all those things. But yeah. For the recipe for the pizza dough, you need flour, you need active dry yeast, olive oil, sugar, and salt. You need the mixer with the dough hook attachment. Also, I took out my measuring cups, and that's so I can cut the dough in half because this makes 2 pizza crusts. So I'm gonna do this 2 times because I wanna make 4 pizza crusts because usually we just have one pizza with something on the side. We never just have like 2 pizzas. So 1 pizza pie for each of us, that's 4 days. So that's good enough. So I'm gonna do this 2 times and then I'm gonna freeze those after I'm done. I don't know why I always have a problem with making anything with bread. Like I've tried breadsticks one time and it actually came out really good. The only thing I did wrong was make the breadsticks too fat. They were supposed to be thinner. But when I was putting it together, it just looked so thin to me. So I just fattened them up and added extra. But that was the only thing I did wrong. The breadsticks came out like so great because it was, I think, an Olive Garden breadstick recipe. So I was like, you know, I don't know why I have an issue tackling bread. I have no problem doing it. I don't know, the whole process of it just, you know, I wish there was an easier way to make it. Well, at least for me, because I don't have a bread machine or anything like that. So I do this all by hand. And then I got the hand mixer. I don't have a KitchenAid, and it would be nice if I had one. I've asked about it about a couple of Christmases, but you know, I really have to just actually get myself one because I know the cost. We don't like to waste a lot of money on things like that, so the cost doesn't make sense, but it's something that I would like to invest in eventually. I have a couple of things on my list I still want to add to the kitchen, but it is what it is. But the girls love when I make bread. They love when I make new recipes. They're getting older, so it's different than when they were smaller. They were always surprised about what I was making, but then they weren't excited about what I was eating. You know, like they wasn't excited to try it, and now they're just excited for all the new things. So it's different. And then plus they're old enough to make stuff their own, you know. And it's bittersweet because my life is different now with them, as far as what I'm doing at home and what I'm doing with them. And we spend a lot of quality time because I homeschool them and I have to do things with them, and I don't show that to you. Like I had a couple of shorts where I did a couple of things with them when I was doing homeschooling, but I don't share it as much. I would like to share it more. I haven't, I guess, because we're always just back and forth. So just to be putting the camera, that's my personal time with them, and I sit down and I spend time with them. So it's not something that, if we're making a craft or anything, I don't mind that. But you know, it's different. It's a different time, and they're getting older. And my daughter's already planning her sweet 16, and she's talking about all the friends that she's going to bring to her party, and then the new friends she's going to get, because when we moved you have to make new friends, and it's it's a whole story. She's the older one, she's more into all the girly stuff and having parties and wearing dresses, and then the little one, she just wants to play video games and hang out with animals and, you know, just be with her family. She tells me this is her plan, that I'm going to live with her for the rest of my life. I know it's not going to happen, because once you get to a certain age, that feeling with any kid is like, okay, I'm an adult and I would like to live my own life. You know, I could love you, but I'll come and visit you. You know, you can have love, but you're not going to want to be with your mother for the rest of your life, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But it's cute and it's adorable now, and I love her for saying the things that she says, because I love my kids. But yeah, I love making new recipes, and we like to try to keep it on the healthier side. I know you see things that I make all the time that's not as healthy, and I'm working on it. I am. You know, I was raised with a family who like fried everything. My mother fried everything. She added like a bunch of seasonings, you know, Puerto Rican house, and it's like everything was fried and seasoned or overcooked. And it's like I never learned how to cook. And then when she would try to teach me how to cook, if I even got a day to stand there to learn anything from her, you know, I'm not saying anything about my mom, I'm just saying like that's just how she was. She's cooked so long, she's cooked for so many years, that it's in the back of her mind. So she forgets that I don't know how to do these things. So she's just like, oh yeah, you just put this and that and that, and then she'll show me, and I'm like, but how much did you put? Because, you know, you could say that, but if you've never cooked in your whole life, that you can easily over season something, or, you know, ruin the recipe because you didn't put the appropriate amount that you can eyeball. So, you know, as time passed and I learned how to cook on my own, or, you know, I've learned recipes or learned over, you know, videos, or my husband taught me things he learned, or, you know, a little bit here and there. And as I learned and I started doing my own stuff and started adding my own taste to it, you know, I started learning how much things needed to be in the recipe. I actually learned how to cook. And then it was so good because my mom came over to my house in the future, and she loved my cooking more than her cooking, and she was like that I'm doing really good. So that, you know, that makes me proud. At least I'm doing well. And for the most part, you know, if, you know, as far as doctor standards, they think that we're pretty healthy. You know, they say that we're good. My kids are in the 95th percentile in height and weight and all that. So, you know, I have to be doing something right. All their blood tests and everything is spot on. So I can't be doing totally wrong. I'm not doing perfect, but I'm not doing totally wrong. You know, there's certain things that I would like to tweak for myself, because I'm not going to even talk about my weight. I would love to be at a different weight. I would love to lose a little bit of my weight, but I'm not horrible. Just certain things need to be tweaked, and I need to work on certain things because I'm getting older, and things, of course, you know, when they get older, things just slow down, and it's time to get your butt moving. So this is my journey, and that's where I'm headed soon. I like posting these videos. I like sharing with you guys what I do. I like to share with you what we do on a daily basis, because sometimes it's just, you know, it's our life, and people will like, we're just pretty simple, but, you know, we have a good family unit. And, you know, how do we keep our unit the way it is? How do we work so well? And this is just it. I homeschool my kids. I try to teach them the best values that I can teach them, and try to show them that, you know, you're supposed to love everyone and be nice and kind and eat and enjoy food and love one another and do handmade gifts and enjoy life as you go. You know, you don't only get one life, so why not live it as best as you can? And I feel like at least I taught them something. If I didn't, I guess I'll find out in the future. That as usual, every time I'm trying to make something or make something for myself, especially, I'm always missing something. I forgot that we just used the eggs for a bunch of special breakfasts and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow, but it'll be on this video. So tomorrow I'll pick up the eggs and I'll do my oatmeal raisin cookies. But right now I am cutting up the peppers. It's supposed to be one red, green, and yellow, I think it is, or one orange for the sloppy joes, but I'm only doing red and green. But I'll show you that recipe in a minute. I'm gonna make the sloppy joes. But then I also thought, which I've made before, I've made the noodle casserole. It's a beef noodle casserole. Really, really good. We all love it here. But it's also something that if I make, I usually have leftovers. So I'm gonna make that also with the sloppy joes, just in case it's not a hit and they're not a fan of the sloppy joes, they have something for backup. My husband and my other daughter pretty much eats a lot of the spicy recipes and new recipes. They like the flavors and everything, but just in case, I have a backup plan. The bread is almost rise for the pizza dough. I'm gonna cut that in a minute and I'll share that with you. And I think I'm gonna also package them up in the food saver bags so I can put them away, and that's 4 pizzas. And then I'm also gonna take the banana muffins and plate those so you can see that, so the girls and my husband can enjoy that later. And that's what I'm doing today. And then tomorrow I will show you the oatmeal cookies. So yeah, after I'm done here, you'll see tomorrow. I noticed that this is the longest video I probably have, that I have more talking than anything. So just bear with me. Only because the girls wanted to hang out in the living room and watch TV while I was doing all this, and I didn't want to disturb them. It was a pretty relaxing day, and I just let them have at it. So the noise in the background, I figured I'd just take the noise out and just explain to you what I was doing or whatnot. But yeah, I'm packaging up the bread now. I have the meat thawing for the sausage, the venison sausage, and the beef for the beef noodle casserole. But yeah, I just was taking the bread dough out so that I can bag it up in the food saver bags. I was going to put them in regular freezer bags, but then I was like, you know what? I think the food saver bags would be better, because it was saying like make sure there's no air in it and it sucks all the air out. So, you know, better be safe than sorry. But yeah, you put the oil in there and then you put it in. I'm gonna let you know how this comes out. Again, this is a new recipe for me. As far as the pizza dough, I usually get, if you know Walmart's products, I usually get the Walmart pizza dough that comes in that bag. I think it's like with red and green labels. I'm forgetting the name, it's escaping me, but that dough usually works perfect for us. We love it. But being that we're over here now instead of New York, in New York they used to sell it like hotcakes. Over here we never find it available, so we always get another kind, and I'm always back and forth on which kinds I get. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna try this out, and if it works out, I package it up and I have it ahead of time when I feel like it. But yeah, I made the muffins. Those came out really good. They ate them not even about a half an hour. The whole family had some, so that was good. I didn't make a lot. And then I started out on the, what is this? This is no, I was gonna say chili. No, this is not chili time. This was the sloppy joe that I made, which actually, fast forward, it was a hit. Everybody liked it. Everybody liked the taste of it. Actually, I can't say everybody. Lily is very picky when it comes to certain things, so she didn't care as much, but she actually ate it and said it wasn't bad. She, you know, liked the taste of it. It was better than regular sloppy joe. So if I even got her to have sloppy joe, I will make it this way, and plus it's probably healthier anyways than the canned sloppy joe. So we had this and the beef noodle casserole, which I was really excited about because I had leftovers. And I love leftovers because that means that the whole weekend I don't have to cook. It's Saturday, we ate it again. We still have enough for tomorrow. So we're gonna eat again tomorrow. We're not we're not horrible as far as not wanting to have leftovers. So everybody's perfectly happy and perfectly fine eating leftovers. So I don't have to cook till Monday as far as dinner. I still do lunch and breakfast and whatnot, but I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, we had a lot of this venison sausage, and I was, going through it because at first I didn't want to work with it. I'm not a fan of sausage like for breakfast like that. I'm more of a bacon person, and I wanted to find recipes that I can use for sausage so I can actually utilize the sausage, because my husband was the only one who eats like the breakfast patties and stuff. So I said, you know what, let me figure something out. I also made some breakfast patties in one of the videos, and I gave that to him. I was cutting the cheese here because it actually calls for a couple of chunks of cheese mixed in to give it that good taste. I don't know, like a creamier cheesy taste. So it didn't hurt it. The girls liked it, everybody liked it, so it works for me. And it was for sharp cheddar, and I had a lot of this because I used it for Super Bowl, and we still had leftover. And you'll see later on the video, and when I went to the supermarket and finally picked up the eggs I needed, that I made another board with some yummy treats for the kids and for my husband, because they like to just sometimes snack on vegetables and fruit and stuff, and I don't like them to eat a lot of junk. So if we have a board out, most of the time they will pick at the board and they won't go for anything else, which is always good. Just sometimes, you get tired, you get run down, and you don't feel like putting a board together, or you don't feel like putting a plate of stuff, like nothing healthy, just like, oh, go grab an apple. I just have apples up there, but they prefer it to be cut. And most of the time they'll cut it themselves, or they'll just eat the apple whole. But I like to be nice, do the nice mom thing and try to make them a plate and try to keep them happy and healthy for the most part. I don't always do it, but when I win, I win. So this actually wasn't hard to make. You'll see the recipe up on top, but it's not hard to make. It's pretty simple. You don't have to use, I think the recipe, it was sausage links, because you just take the casing out and take the sausage out anyways. So it's basically if you had a tube of Jimmy Dean's. To me, it's the same thing. So I use the venison sausage that we have in the tube, and that came out perfectly fine. Like I said, it came out really creamy. You'll see later on when it's done, and it looked really good. And I was a little concerned in the beginning because it had to wait some time to thicken up, but then it thickened up and it looked really, really good, and everybody was really happy with it. Again, it's not something that I will make all the time, but if we're craving it or we want something simple like that, this is also for parties, I think. Like if you're making a huge party, you just put maybe 2 or 3 tubes of that, depending on how many people are at your party. And I think that this will be pretty good. I scooped out the meat because it tells you to leave some of the juices in there to cook the vegetables and onions together in there, so then they could saute basically. I should have took out more juice, but yeah, I figured it's not going to hurt anything, and it still came out good. But as I was saying, like, it would be good for a party. Like, I always think about party foods, like something that everybody can eat. I used to always make, like, my go-to was always pigs in a blanket. I used to always make pigs in a blanket. Everybody loved pigs in a blanket. It wasn't something that nobody liked. Everybody was a fan of them. But I've also made a bunch of different things. I've also made chili. I put it in the crock pot, a big thing of chili, and I make some cornbread on the side, and we had happy people at our parties. I used to go crazy and make dinners for everybody, but nobody really cared to sit down and have a plate of food like that. I noticed that it was something more like either finger foods or something quick like a burger, and I started making hot dogs, and then it ended up coming out to pigs in a blanket. I'm sorry, this is a little blurry, by the way. I don't know what happened to my camera. I ended up fixing it, as you can see. But yeah, when you make parties or you have family over, you want to find something quick and easy, something savory, something that they can just grab and eat. So that's most of my meals that I look for, because most of the time it's my kids who are just sitting down for lunch or whatever. When they're doing homeschool, we have lunch at 11:30, 12 o'clock. Like, that's just our clockwork. We work every day the same time. So I know at this time I'm going to have lunch ready, and I usually put something quick together that I can put, or I like to make the breakfast burritos for them in the morning. So I already have it ready. they already went through the ones I made, so I actually have to sit down and have another day. You know, we'll go some time out without it because they'll have boiled eggs or scrambled eggs or some cereal. It changes back and forth. They haven't had cereal in a while because they haven't been feeling their cereal, so it's mostly eggs or pancakes. But basically, this meal here, I feel, is a good one for a party. If you're interested in that, like if that's something that you like, because it is really good and very flavorful. Even the beef noodle casserole I make, it's not bad either. If you're going to a family party or whatnot, you can just take that whole casserole dish to them, and that's enough for everybody to have a couple of scoops of, because we had some and then we still have some for the next day. So imagine. But yeah, I'll add all the recipes above as you see. And if you guys love the recipes I make, or you're interested and you like that I put the recipes up on top so that you can actually make them, let me know, because I'm just winging it. I just do what I think would be good to do. Sometimes I put them in the description box so you could just get the recipe out. But you know, I print them out. I'm always on Pinterest, always on the web pages. I always look at healthy foods or healthy eating, and I find recipes through that. My plan for March, which I haven't told, but of course I would, you know, when the video does come up, I would explain it as well. In the beginning of March, I'm planning on doing a whole series of Irish cooking. I don't know, you know, so don't say anything against me if I get it wrong. I don't know if this person who made this recipe book, it's a cookbook, it's an Irish cookbook. We take it out for St. Patrick's Day when I decorate. So it's going to come out the 1st of March because I use it for the whole month. So I am going to be using recipes from there throughout the month. I don't know if this person has all these recipes accurate. I don't know where they came from. I just know it's an Irish cookbook, and my husband is, if he's like, I don't know what, a quarter Irish or 15% Irish. We celebrate St. Patrick's Day, so I was planning on in March just making a couple of recipes. I already looked through it, like I skimmed through it, because I got the book, I don't even remember where. My daughter asked me, and I don't know if I got it from thrift store shopping, because we buy books from the thrift store, or if I got it from a homeschool co-op party or things like they do a picnic where we exchange books and supplies. So I don't know exactly where I got it. It looks like in decent condition. I might have got it from a thrift store book haul, but and it's probably one of my videos and I just haven't looked at it. It doesn't matter either way. I have the book. I would explain to you where the book came from. I will tell you the author, and I will show you the recipes I'm making in March when it comes. When the video comes up, you'll see. I'm planning on making some breakfast, some lunch. I think they have desserts in there, some dinners, some treats, all different things. So I'm gonna probably do. I want to say I would like to do maybe about 5 to 10 recipes. I say 5 to 10, and that's a big stretch, and that's because, you know, I might just do 5, but I might go crazy and do 10. It probably won't be in between. We'll see when it comes. My husband always likes the cabbage and corned beef. That's his staple for every year, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna make it. I don't make it. I'm not really good at making it the way he likes it, but I will probably make a couple of recipes that I find in that book and share with you guys if you're interested. I think it's fun. You know, I do have a couple of things that I make in my shop for St. Patrick's Day, and I might be giving it away to somebody. You know, I have a couple of things left over that I made for big parties or big events, and it's perfect for St. Patrick's, so it might go up on the first video as well. Stay tuned, and if I forget, let me know and I'll put it up right away, because, you know, that does happen. You know, and maybe I have to have a bulletin somewhere and write things down. But also, the beef noodle casserole, anyways, is another quick recipe. And I don't remember where I found it. It's in one of my recipe that I made in the past in my videos. And when we made it, we loved it so much that instantly went inside my recipe book. And I think I've made it, since I've gotten that recipe, I think I made it about 6 times. That's how much we like it. And the egg noodles, we like the egg noodles. That's fun for us. So I stock up on the egg noodles, and, you know, I make this, and I think I make tuna casseroles with that same egg noodle. Those are the that's the stuff that I'm using for that recipe. But you'll see it on the top. But It also calls for garlic, a whole garlic, cut up. It's not a big deal for me. I use the minced garlic. A lot of things like this you'll see. I either use it in powder form, if I don't feel like, I like to shorthand things, like I say. That sometimes when I'm just rushing, or if I'm busy or I have other things going on, if I have the time, I'll sit there and I'll cut a fresh onion, I'll cut a fresh garlic. If I don't feel like it, then I will just use my can in powder form. It doesn't hurt. I kind of figure out how much I want to put in there to kind of give it the same flavor, but it to me, it's not that much difference. It is, but it isn't, so it still tastes good either way. And we're a fan of whatever I make so far, because I've been doing pretty good eyeballing stuff. I can't say that every recipe I made is a winner. Like, I have made things in the past and the kids are like, I'm sorry, Mom, I can't eat it. And it was my journey of start cooking things from scratch and learning as I go. I would like to pat myself in the back, but I'm not, because I might jinx myself. But I'm grateful that the girls actually love my cooking, and I'm grateful that I can, make good meals for my family. My husband wants to also do some healthy cooking and healthy breakfasts. So when he breakfast meals and stuff like that. So when he goes to work, he can just grab and go. He has me doing, what are those, egg muffins? That you mix a bunch of stuff in the eggs and you cook them in the muffin pans or whatever. I've made it in the past. I wasn't a fan of it, so I wouldn't eat it. I would probably rather just make a bunch of boiled eggs and just grab those. But I'll make him whatever he wants if he wants to do it, if it's helping him out and it makes him happy. I always like to have something for him when he's headed to work. He's working hard, so I always try to have all his stuff prepared for him. But yeah, we're a team anyways. When he's home, sometimes he makes us stuff, and he makes really good stuff. His bread, I'm still, like I said, that's why I'm worried about making bread. He makes bread so well, and it's so good. He makes Italian bread, he makes regular bread, and it's like, I'm really, really happy, and I enjoy eating it, especially when it comes out warm from the oven. It's like, we'll cut a slice, put some butter on it, and we're in heaven. So it is what it is. I was rushing when I did this too, and I don't think I drained that can of tomatoes. I don't think I did. I was supposed to. At least the can. The rest was fine. But it didn't make any difference either. It came out perfectly fine, and we pretty much ate all of it. Not all of it. There's still some in there. Maybe for my husband for lunch on Monday. Who knows? Even though we're trying to keep it healthy, we got to finish off what we have. I don't like to waste food. That's another thing. Like, we used to sometimes in the past when I was younger. I remember us wasting food. If my mother felt like things were in the fridge more than a day, it would go out in the garbage. If she didn't want to eat it the next day, or she felt like she wanted to make something different, it would go in the garbage. I remember that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I remember that she would just throw stuff out, and I don't want to waste food. So it's very rare that we throw out food, and it's only if we've ate it enough times. And even Thanksgiving meals, it lasts us about a week, and that's it, because I don't want to pass the week. But I'll freeze it. I still have ham in the freezer. I'm guessing that's still good from Thanksgiving, but I have ham in the freezer, and we were gonna make split pea soup, and it just never happened. So that maybe I'll share that recipe in the future, because maybe that has to happen. But maybe I have to look up how long ham can be in the freezer, because we have in the chest freezer, so it's extra frozen. But yeah, we try to go through all our leftovers, and we try to utilize everything we have until we know that it's really, really bad and we can't. Even bananas, I'll put in the freezer, I'll make a smoothie, or like I made them the banana muffins, and it's perfectly fine. So as much as we can use our food, we try to use it to the last drop. The way prices are and the way things are going in the world right now, it's like, why not? Like, you want to make sure that you have something to eat tomorrow, and you have something for the next day. I don't think we've ever went a day hungry. And if we did, the hunger was us just eating like a sandwich because we needed to buy stuff the next day. But we try to stretch as much as possible that we have it to last us a long enough time. But yeah, anyways, moving on. The meals did come out good.
Everybody was pretty happy with it. I'm showing you what it looks like up close because it came out pretty thick, and it tastes really good. I love the way it came out. So they're going to probably have that again tomorrow, which is Sunday after church. But yeah, this is what it looks like plated. I gave the girls some. They enjoyed it. And you'll see in a minute because they were pretty happy with the meal. No complaints, so that's always good.
Here you go. Mikey, they like it.
And this is my plate because I decided to have spaghettis first, and then I had the manwich. Well, not manwich. You know, the sloppy joe the next day. That's what it is, the manwich. But this is the leftovers. Look how much there was left over. Even that we all ate, it was left over. So I put in the containers, and I was really, really happy. Really excited. That's why I'm sharing, because I was so excited about how much we had for the weekend. How much leftovers we had to eat. But yeah, you'll see in a minute. We head to Walmart, and then I finally get the eggs so I can do my recipe. Finally.
Got the eggs. Hi, Papa.
Before I share the recipe, I wanted to show you the board I made. Always a hit in this house, just to bake out and eat good healthy snacks. So I guess it's not pigging out, it's eating good.
We're finally back with the oatmeal raisin cookie video, which I promised that it was going to be in this video, so here it is. I did skip a day. I said I was going to do it the day after, and it's 2 days after. I'm still getting it done. And I even, you know, got my hair washed, so that's why it looks like this. This is what my natural hair looks like, and I don't comb it or do anything to it until I straighten it. But anyways, we won't talk about that. I don't care what this hair looks like. But yeah, I just did my daughter did me a nice little facial, was trying to make me feel all brand new. It was pretty funny. It just reminded me of being like that gold person in like New York City that they used to stand like statues. We had a good laugh about it. I also made some chocolate chip cookies. The girls were asking for a while, so I just made a small batch for them because I was gonna make oatmeal cookies. So I was like, okay, you guys get a little batch. Made a couple of cookies for them to enjoy. You know, you have to do that sometime. I also got to finish the spaghettis over the weekend. The beef noodle casserole that I made, we actually finished all of it this weekend. We had 2 days of leftovers of it, and we went through the whole thing. So I'm so happy when that happens because it makes me feel good not to waste food. Like I said, I like to use every bit of it. I'm going to do the oatmeal raisin. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Probably won't see my face, but you'll see the food. And I'll show you what it looks like afterwards and how it tastes, because I'm the judge this time, because oatmeal raisin cookies are my favorite. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to put this hair up probably in a bun because yeah, it's a little crazy. Maybe do it later. I hope that you enjoy these recipes. I hope that they taste as good to you as they do to us, because we're pretty happy with them. Let's get started. Got my hair up. I still got balance some stuff. I told you in March we're gonna do a whole cleanup because I have to put up St. Patrick's Day stuff, and I'm gonna do St. Patrick's cookings and theme stuff. So yeah, that'll be taken out, and I'll get around to that. Don't worry about my mess. But yeah, the oatmeal raisin cookies is, I'll put the links of all the recipes in the description box, but I'll put the recipes on the video. I think it'll be easier that way. I'm not sure. You can let me know if it's not good. But the oatmeal raisin cookies that I printed out online, it was 1 cup of unsalted butter, or you can use shortening, 1 cup of brown sugar, a 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, that's regular sugar, or 10 tablespoons. 2 large eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1½ cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg. I just use the seasoning of nutmeg, so I think pretty much same. 1½ cups of raisins, a 1/2 cup chopped walnuts, but that's optional. I don't like walnuts, so I'm not using walnuts on this recipe, but that's an optional if you want. and 3 cups of rolled oats, which they want old-fashioned or quick, but do not use instant, which I got a bag of that. So we're doing good. Let's make them.
I had tried these already and they were very yummy. Oh my gosh. It tastes like the ones in the store, and I was really excited about that. But when I was making this, I was looking at this like, wow, there is so much sugar in this cookie. You know, I was second guessing myself. I was happy after I tasted it, but yeah, it was a lot of sugar. And I was, I think, a little bit under the amount I needed for oats and a little bit under the amount for raisins, not by much. So I figured it's not gonna hurt any. It'll still probably come out the same, which it did. Probably I won't be able to, you know, redo that recipe again exactly, because I'm trying to measure when it comes to this recipe just to try to get it as best as possible. But I was really happy with the outcome. It came out really good. That was the only little bag of oats I had left over if I ever make this recipe in the future. And I say future because as much sugar as much sugar as it had in it, I'm gonna have to wait at least a month or 2 or 3 before I have this again. And it was a lot. It was a lot of sugar. It's not a healthy one. So if you're looking for a healthy recipe with oatmeal cookies, I do have one. Ironically, I have a healthy recipe, but it had stevia in it. And I don't know if I was actually fond of putting stevia. So yeah, I flattened the cookies down because I like the way they come out afterwards, and they, you know, it tastes and looks really good. So I end up just flattening them out, and it came out perfect. But yummy. I love them.
I finally get to try one. Tastes like the store. Very unhealthy, but very delicious. All right, got a winner. Thank you guys. If you had fun, I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you learned something. I hope you have fun with me and doing all the good things. And I am trying to upgrade some of my appliances. I want to add stuff like an immersion blender. I'm planning on getting bread cutter so I can slice it really thin, because my hands does not, you know, I'm not great at slicing stuff. My stuff comes out real big. So I would like to be able to have stuff that makes my life easier and to, you know, help us out, you know, make things a little easy. So yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. See you next time. Bye guys.